90s, 50s, 10s. This was something brought to us a few years ago by Ryan. So I'm going to go ahead and let Ryan explain what 90s, 50s, 10s are.
Yeah, so this is a prediction we've done on this series here where we will pick something that we think has a 90% chance of occurring, something that we think has a 50% chance, and then something that we're willing to put like a long shot, just kind of prediction on that we think has just a 10% chance of occurring. So, oh, yeah, it's a creative way for us to kind of, I guess, spread around where we think our predictions will be going for the season.
All right. So, with that, guys, really think about this before we go to it. And if you have any 90s, 50s, 10s going on in the chat, which, by the way, if you're listening to this later, get into our live chat sometime. It's an absolute blast. But if you have any 90s, 50s, 10s, drop them in. When we start talking about them, we'll bring them up. We can discuss them if they are worth discussing. John, I'm going to start with you. 90%.
Okay, 90% chance my Oakland Roots finish top 3 in the West. And I wanted to go with something somewhat bold, right? Like, this is an Oakland team that was and has been playoff bubble for years on end. You think about Ryan Martin coming in. Do you know what he can do at a club like Loudoun United that doesn't really have the biggest resources, or at least they didn't in the past? He is such a tactician who has a clear understanding of style. Now you give him Danny Trejo, you give him the reigning Golden Boot winner in Peter Wilson, and you bring over a lot of the core pieces that made Loudoun tick. You get David Garcia coming in from Spokane. Everything about this is just good vibes in Oakland, and the West is wide open. Like, yes, FC Tulsa was dominant last year. Even beyond them, I think Oakland can go toe-to-toe with anybody if they really do click. So, hey, why not? Oakland, top 3.
Alex?
I think there's a 90% chance that a league newcomer wins the USL League One Golden Boot this year. It will not be
That's good.
a league veteran, because if you look at the churn of the people who scored the top last year, JC Obregon, Carson Henderlong, now Reed Steven, they're gone. They've moved up. Christian Chaney, if I believe he's going to return, he's probably good for about 10.
9 of them are penalties.
Yeah. Derek Gebhard probably might, who knows what to expect with Madison this year. But yeah, like I think it's going to be unless it's Bazzini, that's the 10% outside shot. I think it's going to be a league newcomer this year.
I mean, I was going to go ahead and sprinkle my 10% on being Yaniv, but honestly, I am so convinced that he's going to win Golden Boot this year.
Now, are you with him specifically? He is somebody who's very happy to be kind of the Lexi Missimo, like take a step back and create a little bit. With Dorado in the mix, I could see them both scoring a dozen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they cancel each other out. That's my one worry.
Other side of this. Sorry, go ahead.
Or with Dorado in the mix, Bazzini will go on a tear and get sold midseason.
Yeah, that too.
Also possible. For me, what I'm kind of looking at in terms of a Bazzini, because I'm really confident that he's going to be up there. It's honestly comes down to the fact that he is about 6'6", maybe 6'5", 6'6", and he's going to have people like Gomez, like Mensah, maybe possibly Kelly Rosales crossing the ball in and playing a quality ball through. Dorado's a great player, but he doesn't, at least from what I remember off the top of my head, doesn't quite have the same pace as a Bazzini. So even though Bazzini is a big body, you expect him to be the big person to kind of hold up the ball. I think that's going to be more Dorado's role. So I think he's just going to be fed non-stop throughout this entire season. So, Ryan.
Yeah, so my 90% chance is Tottenham will be in the championship next season. No, I'm sorry, that's 100% chance. But no, my actual one is 90% chance that we do not have a repeat playoff champion in either the championship or League One. The championship hasn't had a repeat playoff champion since Louisville did that in 2017 and 18. And we're still waiting on a repeat playoff champion to occur in League One. So it's not so much a slight against Pittsburgh or Knoxville. It's just that I think history works against them. And both of these leagues are going to be very convincingly competitive this season, that I feel like neither team ends up repeating as playoff champs.
Interesting. I like that one a lot. And I don't love that for Pittsburgh and one Knox fans, but I really like that 90%. Phil?
I had a couple of different ones, but I'm going to go ahead and just go with 90% Tampa Bay Rowdies host a playoff game this year.
Yeah.
We're talking about
that feels like a 99%, if you ask.
We're talking, hey, listen, I wanted to use the 90% to back my boy Dom and the project down there in Tampa Bay. We have seen plenty of projects like this one fall flat on their face out the gate. Of everybody's excited about the names, everybody's excited about like, oh, there's all this stuff going on, and they come out the gate, don't have it together, don't have any cohesion, don't have any like, don't know their best 11, can't figure out how to get guys to play together, all this sort of stuff. I think Dom Casciato like just figures it out, and they finish in the top 4 in the East in what is, let's be real, there are like 2 spots spoken for at the top of the East. So if he's pushing, we're really talking about 2 spots. So I think, I think Tampa Bay is back where we'd expect them to be, in that sort of big 3 or 4 at the top of the Eastern Conference this year.
I think take those paper bags and that you put over your head last year and recycle them now.
Exactly.
I think Tampa Bay is closer in quality to Louisville than they are to Charleston. And I mean that as a compliment to the Rowdies.
Yeah. No, and that's fair. I think it's one of those where it's all going to be in like, do they have the guy to make it like real? And I think they do. That's the difference maker, I think, for this project versus other big spenders we've seen in the past. So welcome back to the home playoff games at Al Lang. Book it now. Buy your tickets.
Does that mean we can, the next USL show thing can be down at the beach in Tampa Bay? That would just be fun.
Live from USL HQ.
Please.
Yeah. Please, Nicholas, let us in.
Then we'll really let us in.
Let us into HQ.
I really like that one. And I think one thing that Alex, you've talked about it. Everybody in League One talks about it. We talk about it on this show, and I think a lot of people who are kind of casuals, if you've listened to the show, you know this, but other people who don't really follow the leagues, they'll just kind of cover their ears and say that's not true. League One's a whole lot closer than you think it is. And they just signed all the superstars from League One. And plus some people who are already established in the championship from League One as well, where I think a lot of, in years past, people would have just turned their nose up and been like, oh, we don't even want to take a chance of these League One guys. I love Tampa Bay's roster build. I love that. I love the prediction.
It's the perfect mix of, you've got all the League One guys who are nothing but upside, but then it's Leland Archer and MD Myers and Russell Cicerone. Like, that's the blend you want to see.
So my 90, and I wanted to be a little bit more bullish, but I'm going to keep it right at 90. And it's that the Richmond Kickers are going to make the playoffs. I think that they're on the line of being a possible host of playoff game team. I really like the roster build that much, but even with what they have brought in this year and keeping the young guys, the young local talent that they have, I think that they have just kind of shored up the back line a lot more, because that really was the issue with Richmond. They were going to score 4. They were just going to ship 5 as well. And I think they shored up the back line a whole lot, and while still keeping that same firepower up top. They're missing a couple pieces from last year, of course, but I really think that you're going to be seeing the red wall just like in full force come playoff game. I do. I think it's going to happen, but 9% for sure making the playoffs, maybe like 85, but they'll host it.
The hosting thing is maybe a bridge too far, but I like directionally where you're going with that.
Sure, that's fair. I'm super bullish. There's a couple of other teams that I thought about throwing in there with possibly hosting, including championship, which I'll make my 50 the championship one. But still, yeah, I love the roster build for Richmond.
Obviously, I'll take that prediction, but I'm still in the wait and see cynical camp.
All right, 50%.
Okay, Connor Evans will lead League One in assists, which is probably not that bold a prediction, but there is so much that can be fluky with assists. I just look at, one, we know that he's going to be kind of the primary attacking midfielder in this team, so he's got that clarity of role. Easy to forget he was a right back at the start of last year. 2, you look at what Greenville has added. Deshane Beckford announced today, Boyce coming in, Azad Liadi, Leo Castro's back. The sheer amount of attacking talent they've got with him feeding it feels like there's going to be more firepower for this Triumph team. If that is the case, Evan feels like a cinch to end up with the assist crown.
Love that. I think one thing that might make me a little hesitant on that, and I say that, I'm already going to backtrack what I was going to say, but I'm still going to say it. Rapapa Mensah did not quite hit there like we kind of thought he would, but that's still a goal scorer that you trust, and that might take a little bit of a hit with his production, but you still trust Castro at the top and Beckford out on the left, Boyce out on the right. You still love the talent that he's able to get the ball to.
Great set piece taker as well, and they've got those trees at the back coming back. It just feels like a lot of ingredients there for him.
Alex?
I was kind of hesitant. I was confident when I wrote it, and now I'm kind of hesitant to share it because now I'm like second guessing myself. But screw it. There's a 50% chance that Knoxville does not even make the playoffs.
Ooh.
After
Okay.
winning the championship. It's another one of those. They lost a lot of key pieces. They retained some key pieces. I'm not quite. You're not quite sure if the new players are gonna mesh the same way that the squad did last year. So you know what? I'll stick with it. 50% chance that Knoxville does not make the playoffs.
I don't
like
agree, but I like it a lot. They had, 3 players who they lost, or 4 players even, that were dominant in the course of the playoff run at some point or another. If you think about Tequila and Lewis and Sievert Haugli and Stuart Ritchie, they had moments where they were untouchable. I don't think they've got the quality to replace any of those guys. And yes, Mikkel Goling will step up in minutes. I really like Garibay in that. Beyond that, it's been a lot of okay moves in the context of a League One that got a lot better across the board. This is a good one. This is something to watch.
Ryan?
Yeah, so this year for League One, we have 5 expansion teams entering the league in Boise, Corpus Christi, Fort Wayne, New York, and Sarasota. My 50% prediction is 3 of those will be playoff teams. When we compare it back to last season when USL won, we had 5 teams entering the league that season. 2 of them ended up in the postseason with Naples and Portland. The only team that barely missed out on it was AV Alta, who missed out by a point on the final day. I feel like with having the balanced schedule is going to be to the benefit of these teams. And everyone, we're all very high on Boise coming into this league. And I feel like the Cosmos are going to make a good push. And then you'll have Fort Wayne, Corpus Christi in there as well, who I feel like can mix it up. So yeah, I say 3 of the expansion teams in the USL 1 this season will be in the playoffs. No promises on where they're seated.
Okay. You know, I had my backup 90% was that Boise was going to make the playoffs. But I'm pretty big on them, on their prospects for sure. I know I got burned by Westchester last year with the hype with all the veterans, but I think this is a completely different organization, different coach. So, Cosmos, I think could possibly make a run as well. The others, I'm still kind of waiting to see.
Buy that Fort Wayne stock. That I almost did a Fort Wayne top 4 thing.
Okay.
They're the one I've got my eye on.
I like some things. I do like some things I've seen with Fort Wayne. It's just it's a very young core that I'd like to wait and see before making any bold predictions about them.
That's fair.
I do like building around Ryan Beecher. That was huge, a huge sign there.
James Musa in the back line. The guy played 29 games for Indy last year and was great. He's like a full New Zealand international. That's quality in the back line.
Yeah. Okay.
Phil?
I want to say my actual 50-50, which is we have a season. But
also my backup 50-50.
That one hurts, man.
I know. I just, the tough thing is as I was going through, I was like, oh, there's a handful of teams that I could really meme here. It was like, oh, 50-50 shot, Brooklyn fields enough players to even play soccer this season. And it's like, but that's kind of the whole thing, right? Like we're all living under that, sort of Damocles right now of like the CBA could not go through and then we're just all effed. So, no, I hate to go I don't know. I'm going to go weird 50-50. Loudoun finishes above where they finished last year.
They finished
Loudoun is my Fort Wayne, where it's like they finished 5th because they had to.
Loudoun's doing this shit.
Yeah.
They're my Fort Wayne in that I've got like dumb amounts of belief in what Loudoun's doing.
It's like they finished 6th last year. Hartford's like a big question mark in my mind. I don't know. There's just like a lot of weird stuff going on out east. I don't really believe in a whole lot. And I think it would be really funny for the Lads protocol if Ryan Martin leaves and they actually outperform like where they went. Not to say that Ryan Martin is the problem. I'm just saying it would be funny.
They put 42 points up on the board, scoring 45 and conceding 48. Will you go above or below the 42 points? Not necessarily where they are on the table, just more or less points.
Oh, like more points. Yeah, more points. I think they'll concede less goals. I think that'll be the secret to success. That'll be what they'll do in terms of climbing.
They also get 4 games against Jacksonville and Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is how I win.
Throw them in there. I mean, if we're taking your 50, John's 90, I mean, there's a real world where Oakland and Loudoun play in the final, and I don't think it's that insane.
If there's a final hosted at Loudoun, headquarters is going to be so mad that has to go on CBS.
It's going to be because it's not close to a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Paid agitators, the only people in the crowd.
Hey, I'll drive up for that one. That's just an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours for me.
Love that. For my 50, I feel I'm looking at the now Prinks Tires USL Cup. Which, have you ever seen a Prinks tire in real life?
Never.
Like.
It's not even in motorsports.
I think 3 USL League One teams make the playoffs.
3
I think we're going to have.
in the cup.
Make the knockouts.
Yeah.
You're saying, yeah.
I think there's 8 playoff teams, man.
Yeah, only 3 teams make
Bump
it.
that up to at least 90, Kaylor. Bump that one up to 90.
In the cup, I think at least 3 teams from League One make the knockouts from the USL Cup, especially looking at a lot of these groups. I mean, I have it up here. I'm looking at Group 5. Is it a stretch to say that Portland Hearts of Pine might be the best team in Group 5 through Westchester, New York, Hartford, Rhode Island, Brooklyn?
Hold
You
that
say
thought.
Rhode Island, but I
I
don't
would.
know if they're
Hold that
necessarily a
thought.
better team.
No,
They
hold
so
that thought. I've got
take-
Kayla. I'm ready to. I'm ready to build on
Okay.
what you're cooking at 10.
Okay. Then I'm looking over at Group 6, where Greenville won the group last year. You see Charlotte, whom they are hinting that Luis Alvarez is coming back, which would be huge for them. Don't know if that's enough to make them a contender necessarily, but I believe in the Richmond Kickers. We already talked about that. I love FC Naples and South Georgia Tormenta, Sarasota. I love what they're building. Tampa Bay, of course, is the big one out there, but if they lose one game and decide the cup isn't that important, that's 3 winners from League One. Not even talking about the wild card, which of course I want to talk about the group that Birmingham's in, because I mean, I will never take a chance to just talk bad, apparently. Even though I really like this offseason. I don't know why I'm being so negative. One Knox and Chattanooga are in that group. And yes, FC Tulsa as well. But I love Chattanooga's offseason still. I can't believe I'm saying that. But there are 4 realistic winners through the group stage outright that I see. And so I think it's at least 3 make the playoffs or knockouts.
Okay.
I like it.
We got a 10.
Phil, you want to go ahead with this? Like you got something connected here?
Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. 10% Portland Hearts of Pine League Cup double.
Ooh.
League One winners and Prinks Cup
Oh.
winners. I just love what Portland's doing. They're really like I think like the difference between last season is like they get, they want to make sure that they show that they're a serious outfit. They want to put together a competitive team, all this sort of stuff. The way they've been moving this offseason to me is like very serious on-field movement. And I like the squad they're putting together. I think relative to last season, they've definitely improved. And the way they played towards the end of last season, they literally were a kick away from knocking out Velocity. So I mean, I think that they've got the raw materials. It's just a matter of could they put it together. And I agree that I think they have the easiest route out of the group. And if you make it into the knockouts of the Prinks Cup, literally anything is possible. And teams having to go to Portland in that is not like that is a very tough away day for a lot of teams. So I don't know. I think there's something there. Plus I wore the hat. So I was like, I'm going to bring the Portland Heat today. So Hearts of Pine League Cup double, first ever League One team to hoist the Jägermeister / Prinks Tires Cup for a shot/ride at glory.
Love it.
He's right at Glory, I think. Like if not, it needs to be. Yeah.
Hey, this is free marketing material for Prinks and company.
I mean, I love it. I really do. I think that League One, okay, I want to say something absolutely bat crap crazy to add on to what you just said. I weirdly think that the USL Cup might be their easier path to winning a trophy, like an actual cup. I maybe the Players' Shield is one thing, but depending on the draw and like what kind of happens there, there's a world where they find themselves in the final fairly easily, especially, and maybe the League One finals would not be the same way, but I almost think that could be their easiest path.
The one thing that I definitely have going, and which bumps this, into this 10% territory, is the fact that with the way that the Open Cup is structured this year and the good teams are the only ones that like qualified for the Open Cup from the championship. There will be a handful of like lower down championship teams who really prioritize the League Cup. So that's the only thing that is going against them, is there's going to be teams who aren't playing in the Open Cup who will definitely want to prioritize the League Cup. But I don't know. I think it's still possible. And at 10%, that's where the wild stuff happens. Now, last year, I said that Noah Fuson would win the Golden Boot. So listen, these are unlikely. I wanna really. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying there's a 10% chance.
Well, Phil, you mentioning the Open Cup kind of ties into my 10% chance, and I'm going to put my 10% on. We have a team from USL that makes the semifinals of the Open Cup. I'm basing this mainly down to scheduling. So we have pretty much all the USL teams are entering in the first round. The quarterfinals of the Open Cup occur on May 19th, where MLS's league stoppage for the World Cup is on May 25th. I'm betting on that. At some point, we're going to get a few USL teams into the quarterfinals. I think we had just Pittsburgh this past season who made it that far. But if there's an MLS team in that stage and they still have a league game to go and the World Cup break is within a week, they're not going to be fielding that strong of rosters, in my opinion, for that game, or players' heads are already going to be at the World Cup there. That is a very sneaky good opportunity for a USL team who just needs to make the quarterfinals at that point to have a really good chance to possibly pull off an upset and then play in the semifinals, which would occur in September.
Yeah, that break is going to be weird. Y'all are going to have to remind me that that's happening. It'd be like, and by the way, we're hitting pause.
If you combine it, it's Hearts of Pine winning Jaeger, winning League One, and making the semis in the Open Cup. Think about that.
I'd buy a house with a
What's
$10
a parlay?
wager.
What's that parlay payout?
Yeah,
Right
a lot.
Right? I might actually throw $1 down on that and see what happens.
If only there were sports books who put out futures on USL and not just game by game.
I just gonna walk into MGM up in Detroit, be like, I have a bet to place.
I mean, I'm once again just going to tell you, if you're placing parlays on USL futures, call the hotline.
If you're not placing 12-leg parlays on the US Open Cup first round, what are you doing?
If you're not doing that and you're not playing in the competition, what are you doing? Like, if you're not Miami United, and you're not betting on yourself.
It was like Pete Rose. They never bet against themselves.
They bet on themselves to win.
John?
Yeah, so I threw some shade at Jacksonville a minute ago, and I want to be positive about them because I've just been dragging them in everything I've wrote and said this offseason. So 10% chance Emilio Escalainen wins the Golden Boot. This is a guy that with St. Louis City in Next Pro had 7 goals on 9 XG, which in Next Pro, that's pretty good. Playing time is a little bit less consistent. It's a weird environment. He's 6'3". The coaching staff in St. Louis said he would have got MLS minutes if not for weird international rules. In the world where Jacksonville is competitive, it'll be because he kind of Peter Wilson's it and drags them over the line and really breaks out as that kind of player. It also feels like a wide open year in the Golden Boot, frankly. Cal Jennings is gone. You think about some of the teams that have gone up and down this offseason. So why not? Is kind of what I'm thinking.
And the son of Jussi Jääskeläinen, famous former goalkeeper for Bolton Wanderers and other Premier League teams, which when you said the name, I was like, surely they're related. And it is indeed his dad. Finnish nationality, right? Place of birth, Bolton.
Norwegian, born in Leeds or Manchester, whichever one it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Leeds.
Okay. I mean,
it was Leeds. And please don't say Manchester to him.
Well, I love that one. Also, sorry, Sporting Jacks. I should be asking more questions about you. But is Peter Wilson just the least talked about Golden Boot winner ever?
Yes.
Yes.
It's because he scored like all of the goals in their last 10 games. Like he just went on a heater when Oakland was kind of already eliminated, and it took some of the fun out of it.
I mean, it was down to him and oh my God, who was down in Miami last year? Bonifilio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardest working man in showbiz down there, Bonifilio.
Yeah,
Do
but it
my
also
damn-
bolsters
do it my
like,
damn self.
the theory that it's going to be a guy from a mediocre team that wins this thing again.
Milanolowski from Orange County a few years ago. I mean,
Don't tell Andy that, but yeah.
I mean that was not a good team. It was a wooden spoon golden boot. It was very cool, JC Obregon-esque.
Do you think there's-
Obregon is Milanolowski-esque, but still?
Do you think there's any shot at Sporting Jacks being like, yeah, they're not like, they don't look like anything right now. And we were kind of saying the same thing about their Super League entry, and they're like really good.
I think one thing that I this is me looking at their W League and League Two teams as well, just trying to see patterns here. They were really strong in their recruitment. I think that in terms of attacking prowess, the college to pro pipeline is a little bit easier right now through the Super League than it is the championship. So I think they're going to have a lot harder of a time to get their feet underneath them. Not to say they can't be really good
They only signed
players.
one college kid, which I thought was going to be the strength of them. Like it's a bunch of imports from England and Next Pro guys. The starting back line is probably Mo Traore and Wahab Akwe. In 2026, dude, that's bad.
Hey. Wahab Akwe, I mean, he was doing just fine until he was like banished to the Shadow Realm by Wilmer Cabrera. So
Alex?
I think that there is only a 10% chance that Forward Madison makes the playoffs this year.
Yes.
is there like a
I'm
10%
not-
chance that Forward Madison fields a team? Like, who's gonna play for them?
Unless there's some magic that they have not announced yet. I don't know what is going on there with that. I think it's a rebuilding year. Next year, sure, back in it. But I don't know if I've ever seen a rebuild that brings back one single player from the previous year. That's just crazy to me. It's also the last contract year for the coach. They got a new sporting director to take that off his plate. I think that there's a lot of changes happening in that organization over this year that is gonna keep them out of contention for this season.
Which is bizarre because they started off the off season with Mark Segbers, and I thought, oh my God, Forward Madison's going nuclear, and then they did nothing else.
I mean, there's still a lot of names out there. Still something they could do over the next few weeks that could change my mind. But as of right now, that's how I feel about their season right now.
There's like the framework of okay center backs with McCamey coming in from NYCFC 2, and I liked Humphrey at Las Vegas. Jackson Castro kind of cooked as a 10 for Vancouver too. And beyond that, like there's just not a roster here. And obviously there are guys that have signed and aren't announced yet. It's hard to gel when you're just resetting. We've seen it with Miami, like is the team I think about, where years on end they're a brand new roster. I'm not saying Madison is that level of ineptitude, but it illustrates the challenge they're going to face for sure.
They'll probably still
All right.
beat Richmond.
I have death taxes. I have my 10, and this is again in line with my thing that I always do in the preseason, which is I'm way too excited about a team, and I just cannot stop thinking about it, and I'm doing way too much. There's a 10% chance that in their final season there, Detroit City hosts the USL final.
Whoa.
That would be pretty cool.
I'm looking at their roster, and again, 10%, but I am dreaming on Maxi Rodriguez, Kobe Hernandez, Foster midfield. I am just dreaming on that midfield. And then going forward, we saw what Smith, Cedinho, there we go. We saw what they could do, like when they were running hot. We saw how good they could be. Juve was a great player. Lexington never seemed to get his feet underneath him with Detroit. If that goes right, you trust the back line of Alma-Mensa, Hopegund, Bryant, and Saldana or Herrera in the back line or in the very back. From there, I mean, I like every single bit of this. If everything clicks on this team, it's one of the better teams in the East if it clicks.
What they did last week, getting Callum Montgomery in central defense, was kind of clarifying for me. He was a winner of about 2/3 of his aerial duels in the Canadian Premiership. That's a crazy number, but he's also a very good left-footed passer. So the way that Detroit sets up, right, they want Alma-Mensa to defend like a left-sided center back, but be able to push up that flank. Montgomery is the perfect player to put next to him and just be the anchor. So now you've got a left side with Alma-Mensa and Aiden Stanley. You talk about the midfield. I think Atus Diouf really found his stride late last year. At top four is bold. Like they're going to be in the mix for it, I think. I'm not sure if they're going to nail it down. But why not Detroit when it comes to the playoffs if everything goes to plan?
Interesting top 10 that gets in. Top 10 or 10%. Bob Lilly.
That's the most zero I've ever seen.